A man was arrested in Scotland over offensive social media posts directed at Syrian refugees. The Guardian reports, police in Scotland have said the arrest of a man responsible for a series of offensive Facebook posts about Syrian refugees should send a clear message that such social media abuse will not be tolerated. He was arrested under the Communications Act. One of the officers said, "I hope that the arrest of this individual sends a clear message that police in Scotland will not tolerate any form of activity which could incite hatred and provoke offensive comments on social media." Okay, now we don't have any specific information on what was said in the post, other than that it linked the 1,000 or so Syrian refugees that are now in Scotland to the Paris attacks. Now, that is factually incorrect. The specific refugees who were there had nothing to do with the attacks in Paris. But should you lock the guy up for being an ignorant prick? No. No. So, I often talk about it on the show. I think many of the people in the audience agree with me. I consider myself kind of a free speech absolutist. I really agree with case law in the U.S. on freedom of speech. The very, very rare exceptions to freedom of speech are basically direct threats of violence, libel, slander, and the old cliche examples of you can't scream bomb on a plane or fire in a movie theater, stuff like that. But virtually everything else, totally fair game. I always point to, I think it's called the Skokie case, where the ACLU defended the KKK because the KKK said, look, we want to march through a minority town and do a peaceful protest. Well, as much as we all despise the KKK, they have a right to do it, man. You have a right to be ignorant and stupid and hateful and dumb. As long as you're not calling for direct threats of violence, it is what it is. And guys, this is... People are like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But you have to fill in the blank with whatever group you find most objectionable. Islamists. If Islamists want to march through the center of a town and spew hateful bigotry, they have a right to. Only direct threats of violence. Only when it crosses that line, that's when you get locked up. That's when there's a problem. But the greatness of a country and the freedoms the country has, it rests on how you treat people when your values are tested. So, do you stick to your values at the toughest points? I mean, we don't need freedom of speech for people who say apple pie is delicious, mother is awesome, and rainbows are pretty. No, you need freedom of speech specifically for the hateful, bigoted, stupid comments. So, to lock somebody up for saying something offensive about Syrian refugees, motherfucker, I mean, look online. Probably the majority of comments about Syrian refugees, or just refugees across the board, or undocumented immigrants, it's across the board like, bigoted silliness. But does that mean everybody who voices those opinions should be locked up? No. Get the fuck out of here. Look, you got to be intelligent about this stuff, man. So my take on refugees, I've gone into detail about it. I'm not with the far left that says, hey, open borders, everybody welcome, no problem whatsoever. And I'm not with the right-wing idiots who are like, keep everybody out because they ain't exactly like us. No, there's a middle ground. The middle ground is, within reason, you let in a certain number and you vet, you do strong vetting, and then look, is there still a small chance that some of them might be bad people? Sure. I mean, that's a risk with any group of people that you allow in. But should that prevent you from taking in a certain number and being rational about it and doing vetting and just taking the smart middle ground? No, it shouldn't. So that's my position on the refugees. But would I lock up even the worst right-wing, bigoted, hateful, stupid critic who says things even that are factually inaccurate about the refugees? No. You gotta allow everybody to talk, because where do you fucking draw the line? And then, or eventually, are we gonna draw the line when people say, hey, I just disagree with taking in any refugees because that's my politics, that's my beliefs, I believe in shut borders across the board. Okay, well, it's only one step further to say, because I think they're dirty immigrants who are evil, yada yada. But can you say, hey, that's a precursor to saying the next thing, which is really offensive, so now we're going to lock you up for saying something offensive? No. Fuck off. And the thing is, people think some people would say, yeah, this is the liberal position you're taking. Bitch, this ain't liberal at all. Liberal is to say, yeah, I'm going to actually abide by the principles of liberalism, One of them being freedom of speech. So, yes, I will protect your rights even if you say something I vehemently disagree with about the refugees. So, hopefully that shines some light on this issue for you. I think this is crazy. I think you're going down the wrong path if you do this. People have a right to be hateful. You can be a jerk. You can be a racist. You can be a bigot. You have a right to be like that. Now, that doesn't mean we can't argue back against it. We can, and we should. But you don't lock somebody up for it. That would be crossing a line in a big way.